Hey, what's up? Welcome to Degen Ed. That's degenerative education, meaning none of this is financial advice. Just me having fun looking at charts like the chart behind me, which is of AMC Entertainment, ticker symbol AMC. And so here I am recording this on Saturday, August 31st, after AMC closed on Friday the 30th at a price of $4.82, being flat on the day and, closing the week below $5 a share, which we have been residing at for quite some time. So, a little bit disappointing there. And there are some disappointing things in the chart that I do want to go over, but, all hope is not lost. And so, I wanted to go over some levels, both to the upside and the downside, that I do think will be important in the week and weeks ahead. And, I do think that we could be reclaiming some levels. So, don't lose all hope just yet. And so, these are the 5 trading candles from last week. And as of last week's video, I did talk about price coming up to $5.22. That is the 786 from this purple retracement here. And on Monday, we did wick up to that level, hitting a high of $5.25, but we closed below it. So while we did get up to that level, we couldn't hold it, and then we started to break down. I did think that this week we would either see some volatile moves to the upside or the downside, and it actually looks like we got both. Big move to the upside that we could not hold, but then a breakdown. We broke below these 2 uptrending levels that I went over last week. And so with that being said, on Tuesday the 27th, we started to break below the orange trend line, and then on Wednesday the 28th, we came down just over 5% on the day, clearly broke below both of those levels. And so, just like when we wicked up here, we couldn't get a close above that level 522 or confirm the breakout. We just got to wick up and back down, inverted hammer candle there, and then we started to roll over. While we did break down here, we have not confirmed the breakdown. So I do think there is some hope that next week we could start to reclaim these uptrends. It does seem pretty bearish, I will admit, but we have not confirmed, and so that is key. And so what is confirmation? This is something that I am still working on recognizing, but here I think there is a really nice example. And so on Wednesday, we hit a low of $4.71, with that wick being right around where the cursor is there. And, so that is the low. Following that, on Thursday and Friday, we traded above it. A confirmation signal or a confirming break would be closing below the low that we hit when we broke below both of those levels. So we haven't seen that yet, so there definitely is still hope. And while it is leaning on the bearish side because we have rolled over here, we haven't confirmed, and we could negate that by getting a close back above these uptrends, potentially getting back to 522 or closing above the high here at 525. And so that really would be the most bullish scenario, getting a close next week or, maybe the week after above 525. But if that doesn't happen, what would be, getting towards the most bullish case scenario would be getting a close above the high from the 28th. And the high on that day, it was $5.02, right around where the cursor is here. And if we did get a close above that, let's say around 505, that could correspond with getting a close above this white uptrend. And so that could be the beginning of us starting to reclaim the upward momentum that we had for a brief moment on Monday, as that was lost later in the week. But, if that doesn't happen, if we aren't able to get a close above, let's say 505, and start to get above these uptrends and close above 522, 525, and so on, what are some levels to the downside? I do think that there are a number of them. And, while I don't want to go on about the possibility of the stock price going lower, I think it's good to take a step back and recognize that might be what's happening. We might see lower pricing. And if that is the case, have a plan, prepare for that, and prepare to, take advantage of the discount that we will be seeing. We've been seeing price range between $4 and $6 the past few months, trading for the most part right around $5 a share. And if we do start to pull back, what are some levels that might be good dip buying levels? And so on Wednesday, we did test the 786 here from this blue retracement, going from the low here to the high here. That was at a price of $4.73.3. We did, test that, getting that close here at $4.74. We did close just above that level, so that could be a dip buying level to consider. But like I said, there are other ones to the downside. And so the next one, just moving down on these levels, we can see this 786 here in yellow going from the low here of 433 up to this high here of 576. That 786 is right around $4.64, or you can always just have fun with it, $4.69. Maybe we break lower to that. If we do go lower, 458 is the 786 here in white, so that might be the level. And actually, from the upside move that we saw here, that is the most recent 786 retracement, so I could see price coming down to around 460, maybe 450, which would correspond to this red line here, that is the 786 going from the low here of 410 up to the high hit on the 6th of June, which was at a price of $5.96, so almost getting up to $6 there. And so that 786 is right around 450. Maybe we come down to that. If we do go lower, the next level that I do have marked is going to be the 786 from this big retracement going from the all-time low of 238 up to the high hit during market hours of 1188 on May 14th. That 786 is at a price of right around $4.41, the white level right here. We did test that, hitting a low on August 5th of $4.41. So maybe we pull back to that, hit a double bottom, and then, start to make our moves towards 525 and so on. But if we do break below that, 420 is always a fun dip buying level, but just below that is 410. Hopefully we do not go lower than that. But if we do, this was pointed out on a post that I saw on Twitter that's a little more bearish than I think we're going to experience, but just to have a plan for if this does happen. We see this double top over here. If I draw a horizontal line here from the high, that was hit on April 23rd, that being at a price of $3.55 there, that white line. Hopefully that does not happen, but maybe we pull back to 350, and I think that would be an excellent dip buying opportunity. So if we're not to be going higher, if we do start to break down, even if GameStop starts to take off, maybe AMC doesn't follow, and maybe AMC continues this rollover, have a plan if price does come down to 350. If it doesn't, if it only comes down to 420, have a plan for that and have some fun with it too. Maybe it just comes down to 469, another fun level. But, maybe what we're seeing here is a fake out break to shake out retail because we have not seen a confirmation of this break of these levels. It does seem discouraging because we are trading below those uptrends, but we have not confirmed the break. Again, that would be closing below the low that we hit on August 28th, which was at a price of $4.71. If we get a close at $4.71, my understanding is that is not a confirmation of the breakdown. $4.70 or lower would be confirming that breakdown, and that is not trading below $4.70. If we wick down to $4.50 but close at $4.72, we have not confirmed this breakdown, and we could still be seeing some upside. If we do close below $4.71, $4.70 or lower, then I do think that we could be testing $4.20, maybe $4.10. So do have a plan for that. And really, worst case scenario, I think we will be finding some support around $3.50. So if that does happen, have a plan to take advantage, because just like $2.38, we may never see a $3.50 again. I don't think we're coming down to $2.38, so I wouldn't worry about that. but 355 is on the table there. And one thing that, as I draw this up here, I'm thinking about it. We did have a gap up here, and so the close on May 10th was at a price of 318.5, kind of an odd number there. But from that, we did gap up on the 13th, so going from the 10th on Friday to Monday the 13th, we opened at 352. So there is a gap in that range. There is some weakness there, and we need to fill that. We need to create some support there so we never pull back to that level again. And so if we do break below 350, it does look like, we do have this gap here, 318.5. So keep that in mind. Have a plan. Consider levels to the downside and DCA if it does come down. That's what I do. It's not really that exciting, but it works for me. It keeps me engaged. It keeps me excited for the dips when they happen. And, when the rips happen too, always excited for those. But, those are just my thoughts. If you found them helpful, make sure you like the video, share your thoughts in the comments down below, and make sure you subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. Thanks a lot for watching, and have a great holiday weekend. Take care, you guys.